No rush, dude. You know what you're doing.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And today I'm joined by Tom, Tom Ruby. How you doing today, Tom?
I'm good, my man. I actually can't believe this is happening, and I'm honoured to be here.
No worries, mate. Obviously, you're not the biggest person in the world in terms of numbers, but obviously, I still think you got a really interesting story.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say, man. No, I have probably. Should I explain a bit about myself, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Essentially, I have probably a small YouTube channel. At time of recording, I have 300 subscribers, but we all have to start somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, mate. You're doing a really good job on it.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say, man. Obviously, I was a big fan of yours beforehand. Like, I think you are an amazing interviewer. You're very underrated. And one thing I will say about you, you're a go-getter. Like, you'll just tweet people being like, do you want to come on?
That, that's the best way to be. Like, if you get frightened of somebody's lying, then you're never gonna do anything in life. Because at the end of the day, it's only just a person, isn't it?
No, I get you. What we need to think about is people are people. You are Anthony from the Anthony podcast, and I'm Tom Talks Rubbish from Tom Talks Rubbish. That's not my actual name, by the way, but you know what I mean. But we all have to, we're all just people. Like, spoiler alert for the guys watching this is going to be a wrestling discussion because we're both wrestling fans, right?
It is, but I also want to talk about your disability, if you don't mind, because I think people might be.
Yeah, we can talk a bit about it. I think we have a similar disability, if I'm honest.
Do you have cerebral palsy?
I do, man. I do, as it happens.
Is it spastic? Quite, well, it probably won't be, but what type of cerebral palsy is it?
Oh, you're asking the difficult questions now, man. In all honesty, is it terrible if I say I don't know?
To be honest with you, man, you probably should find out.
No, I know my mum knows, and like she has records of what it is, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
That's fine, baby.
All I know is it affects my legs and I can't walk. You know?
But if I'm being honest, yeah, it probably would be a bit. It probably would be better if you knew exactly what it was called.
I think it's spastic cerebral palsy. I think, but don't quote me on that. Do you know what I mean?
Like me, for example, I have spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy.
Yeah. Is that where it affects basically everything?
Yeah. So my arms are affected. I love Islam, my legs are affected. But luckily I can use just one hand to do what I need to do on here.
I think I have a buddy who has the similar cerebral palsy to you.
You probably do. It's a very common form of.
I've got to be careful how I phrase this. Do you use an electric wheelchair?
Yes.
What was you
going to say originally?
No, I just didn't know how to phrase it. You have to be so careful nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to upset you or anything, you know?
Yeah, you can say it like to me on my YouTube. Because
I agree with you. I had this the other day. Like, my mum asked me, she was like, are you okay with what people say? I'm like, if I put myself out there, that I've got to be prepared to get if you get the positive comments, you've got to be prepared to get the negative ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the way I look at it, tell me if you agree. Yeah, getting hate comments make me feel quote unquote normal, whatever that means. In like,
Oh yeah, because I don't know if you find this, but not so much nowadays. Because I think disability is more normalized. Is that the right word?
yeah, it's a lot more ingratiated into society. I would
Yeah,
say.
I agree with you on that one. But definitely when I was growing up, because how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
Yeah, you're a couple of years older than me then. But definitely when I was in primary school, I remember I was the first. I don't know if I was the first disabled person, but I was definitely the first wheelchair user to go to my primary school. So it definitely wasn't as common in like the late 90s and the early 2000s.
I was actually quite lucky. Cause I went to a special needs school with
So did
that.
I actually, man. I did for secondary, or would you call it high school in America?
They call it secondary school because it was easier for us to say. And if
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of my audience is from the UK.
Oh, really? I did excuse me. Uh, I did for secondary school, I went to a special needs school, but primary school, I went to a mainstream.
To, to be honest, yeah, my school was like secondary and primary on the same site status. So I went to the same school for nearly obviously 10 years.
So was mine, but because we didn't know about it until I went to secondary school, I just went to my local primary school. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't at first, but I get what you mean now.
Yeah, yeah. Do you understand? I didn't know about my secondary school until I went there. So I think my mum tells me all the time, had she known about my primary school, she would have said, yeah, sorry, about my secondary school, I meant to say. She would have sent me there for primary, but the fact that she didn't know, she couldn't, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. This is a bit of an awkward question. Did you have to do with any bullying, like serious bullying
Did I have to deal with any bullying?
at, at primary school? Because obviously at that age, kids don't really understand it.
It was more teasing and like, but it wasn't like nasty. It was more, oh, kids were more fascinated by it, if you know what I mean. Like they wanted to have a go in my wheelchair or in my walking frame or stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would assume the way society now it would be considered bullying, but at the time, it wasn't really considered bullying, if you know.
No. And I never took it as bullying. Maybe I should have. I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's, but that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, people are gonna think differently, and that's fine.
I don't know. Like the way I look at it sometimes, if I called out everyone that said something, like we were talking about with hate comments, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I called out every person that said something nasty sometimes, I wouldn't be doing anything else with my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And as we've already said, when you put yourself on YouTube or on the internet, period, it's part of, unfortunately, it's part of the game to get hate comments.
100% agree, man.
But
Obviously, I've been very lucky. I don't know about yourself, but the only hate comment I ever got, I don't want to say what it actually was because it was vile. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But wasn't anything to do with me. It was just someone that, you know how, I don't know if you've ever had this, someone sees the title of the video and they just comment assuming on the title. They haven't watched the actual video yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I know what you mean.
So that's the only one I had. And then when you actually, I remember it. I laugh about it to this day. I got a hate comment from this person, and then 10 minutes later they were like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't watch the video. It was actually an amazing video." I was like, "What the heck? Can I swear on this?"
Yeah, you can say whatever you want within reason, of course.
All right. For example, can I say the F word?
Yeah. Don't say anything like gonna get me cancelled.
Of course I won't, my man. You have all these big interviews. Can you imagine? And then this small YouTuber comes on, and you're like, "Oh, my channel's been taken down. Cheers, Tom." Do you know what I mean?
No, it's okay. You just say whatever you want.
My exact words, I didn't comment it, but you know when you read something and you go,
yeah,
"What just happened?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like one time, I got a comment saying I should have died in the room, and I was like, what a good way to spend Saturday morning.
Yeah. People like that have clearly got too much time on their hands, you know, my man? So just let it rise above. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I do very well with comments and things. Like, I'm not always this happy-go-lucky person, but I think if you're always happy, you've got a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously in the media course. So did that make you want to get onto YouTube?
Someone's done their research, haven't they?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. YouTube, I can't really tell you why I wanted to get onto YouTube. It was more of this seems fun, I want to give it a try sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's funny, like, yeah, I use my media, but I don't edit or anything. So, because I hated editing when I was at college.
Yeah. I understand that it's not for everybody, but I would say, I don't know why you want to take it, whether you want to make it a career or whether you're doing it for fun. If you do want to make it a career, you might have to start doing a little bit.
I will. I definitely want to get into some form of editing, but I think where you had to do it so much when I was at college, do you know what I mean? I sort of got burnt out by it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
But that was a long-winded way of answering your question. Yes, media made me realize I wanted to do something in the media, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be YouTube. YouTube was a complete accident, and it was because I got drunk one night.
The first time I saw it, obviously I think you commented on one of my videos, but I did see it from Cultaholic live chat.
It was the Ross one. I remember exactly what video it was. It was the Ross interview.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was a good interview, by the way, man. Like, props to you on that one. I watched it back when you said you wanted me to come on, and I was like, just to get a feel of like your questions and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched it back, and I was like, wow, this guy's done really well.
I
feel like this is just going to be a conversation for the next half an hour of us just putting each other over. To use the wrestling parlance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to it.
Yeah. Right, mate. I have about 20 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, 20 minutes will be fine. As I said, because you're not that big yet, no disrespect. There's not really that interesting thing that people want to know. Like.
No, I get you. So where do you want to go now?
So what made you like Cultaholic?
Cultaholic, like, I feel like you're going to get the same answer out of a lot of people, but it was what culture stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Have you seen my interview with Adam Blomfier? It's when I
Oh,
first,
you've done an interview with Blompier?
yeah,
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check that one out, man.
it's one of my first ones, so I was really nervous, and you can tell I was really nervous. But all things considered, I thought it was a decent interview.
Can you just DM me to remind me to watch it? Because I do want to sit and watch that one.
No problem. We literally speak about everything, and I do mean everything. If you know
Was he
what
like, even to, how to put this, even through the sketchy stuff?
Why he left? Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I got yeah. Before the interview, I contacted him 3 or 4 times and said, are you sure? And he said yes. And then I asked him again before we started recording, and then he said yes. And then I checked with him again before I asked the question, and then he said yes. So
That never really affected me because I wasn't a fan in 2007. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I've been a fan since 2002, so I'm old in terms of wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Your 10-year anniversary is next year, man.
Yeah.
I started in 2000. Your 20-year anniversary.
I'm gonna say it's been longer than that. Because we're in 2022, so 20 years, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah. So that never really affected me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I do feel on people like John Cena and The Rock and etc.
What do you mean?
Like, what did you like John Cena when you were growing up?
Not really. Because by that point, John Cena was winning a lot. So even I was like, this guy wins all the time. But you know who my guy was when I first started?
Who was your
Straight Edge Society, CM Punk.
that's the different one, because normally when people say they like CM Punk and the one they see in the WWE stuff, normally they say stuff from 2011.
Don't get me wrong, I loved his stuff in 2011, but to me, I loved his Straight Edge Society stuff.
I thought it was better anyway.
Especially with how they booked it, but that's a whole nother conversation, isn't it?
We'll have to do an episode on that. Let's quickly speak about AEW, and then we can end it. So how do you feel about AEW at the moment?
I love it. Like, that is partially the reason I haven't reviewed it in a couple of weeks, because I remember Ross on Cultaholic on his Desert Island Grabs was talking about football. Don't know if you've seen that episode, have you?
Yeah.
And he was saying about it being his main passion in life and struggling to be objective.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason I stopped reviewing it. And I still want to review it, don't get me wrong. But I was a bit like, I enjoy it too much to be objective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get.
How about you?
I really enjoy it as well, but obviously, doing what I do, I can't really review it like that. Because if I dislike something, yeah, I can't turn around and then have them on my podcast and pretend like I'm a big fan of theirs when I'm not.
Yeah. So, I struggle to... You're right, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I struggle to review it purely because I'm such a fan. Like, obviously, you saw what happened last night, didn't you?
You mean with Impact?
Yeah, at the time of recording, last night, Kenny Omega won was it the Impact title?
Yeah, he won the Impact title and the TNA title.
Oh, did he win them both?
Yeah, cause he, because Rich Swan had all the gold, didn't he? And I'm assuming it would win
Oh,
the
did he?
title.
I didn't know that, man. Because I'm not really a big Impact guy. I mainly watch that through like ups and downs and programs like that.
As you might know, I'm a big wrestling nerd. I watch things from all over the world if I can.
Yeah, I do. But sadly, with time and with life slowly going back to normal in the UK, I don't have time to watch as much wrestling as I would like. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So before we finish up, Tom, I'm trying something really different. Who would you like to see on the Anthony podcast? What a realistic name right there.
Big Simon Miller would be awesome.
Okay. I will edit this as a separately, and then we can retweet it, and then maybe we'll see it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that'd be awesome. But definitely the one that I know you've been reaching for, haven't you? Because you've tweeted him a couple of times. Chris Van Vliet?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's got to happen.
To be honest, when I first started, I was really overexcited. So I think I tweeted him too many times. So he hasn't blocked me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's muted me.
I don't know, man. Like, as long as you weren't nasty or anything in your tweets, I can't see any reason he would have.
No, I can't see that as well. So thank you for coming on, Tom. I want to be appreciative of your time because I know you got a wheelchair appointment.
I don't know if you find this, man, but I've got appointments every day this week and then nothing for like the next month. Every appointment seems to come at once, doesn't it?
Yeah. I have had a wheelchair appointment in a long time.
I'm finally getting a new one, man, so I can't miss that, can I?
Do you mind if I get a manual or an electric one?
I use a manual one, man. Like I've always said to people, no disrespect to like yourself and like my buddy, but while I can push myself, I want to do it as long as I possibly can because I know there'll be a day where I possibly can't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, when you wear a wrestling t-shirt, yeah, do you wear that? Do you wear the night in public and do you get embarrassed?
No, I am a wrestling fan and I'm happy to be a wrestling fan. So if people want to harass me for it, they can. Obviously, with COVID and social distancing, you don't get it as much. But occasionally I'll get one of these.
I can't stand that thing. It's become so corny and so geeky that
I know, but I'm a massive wrestling geek, man. I can't help it.
Anyway, I want to say thank you for coming on. So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go and watch Tom's stuff, his channel will be in the comments.
One thing I was going to say, can I plug what I've got coming up?
Oh yeah, of course. So.
Is that all right? Yeah?
Yeah.
I've got an interview with, I don't know if your followers would have seen my stuff, but I do a lot of interviews with my carers.
Yeah.
I've got another one that I'm recording tonight with one of my carers, Georgia, talking about, because she runs like a little arts and craft business on the side.
Yeah.
Talking about how to build a business and enjoying it in lockdown and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arts and crafts in lockdown. Yeah. And then hopefully this week as well, I'll be recording another interview with two really good friends of mine that have had a baby. And we're just going to talk about how having a baby in lockdown was different and stuff like that.
Good. I know you got an answer on because just a very good question. I do like people feel comfortable not normally on camera because obviously do what I do is cool and that. But I interview people that, for the most part, are comfortable being on camera.
I don't know. It's like, again, this isn't me name dropping because I've never met the guy, but Chris Van Vliet said it in one of his posts on Twitter. Like, just treat it like a normal conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
a lot of the time they ask for questions in advance, which I'm happy to do. But other than that, just treat it like a normal conversation. I think I'm very lucky because they're my friends. Like, we just treat it like we were having a conversation, like if we were down the pub or something.
yeah, that's why I always say you might not have as many subscribers as I do, but I do think you're a better interviewer because you can do it with anybody. I don't think.
Nah, man. Like, in the pantheon of great interviews, I'd say it's Chris Van Vliet, yourself, and then me way down at the bottom.
What about Alicia too? You don't like her?
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I'd probably put Chris Van Vliet, Alicia too, yourself, and then me way down at the bottom.
You don't
I mean, further down now, man.
You don't like Tom Campbell.
Dude, there's too many good ones. I would be somewhere. But yeah, there's like, I've learned from a lot of the great interviewers, and you are definitely up there, man. And when you said, do you want to come on? I was like, yes, definitely. But can I tell a story before I disappear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember the accidental DM story when we first started chatting?
I think I did. I think you said something like, maybe, I don't remember the story. Do you remember?
I do. Can I tell the story?
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I first got into interviewing by interviewing my buddy about our college experience. Do you remember?
Yeah, I saw that on because I commented something about something that you said.
You did, and I DM'd you just saying thank you for the comments, blah blah blah. Like, keep in touch, we can help each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then later that night, you DM'd me saying, "Do you want to come on the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." Like, but then 10 minutes later, you were like, "I'm really sorry, man. I sent that to the wrong person." Do you remember now?
Do you want me to be honest? Yeah, I was really apprehensive about having you on because at the time I thought if I didn't have somebody on with a big audience, nobody was really gonna care.
No, I get that. And I totally understand if no one cares about this interview. It was just totally cool to be asked from my perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but now I genuinely do not give a crap. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Tom.
Can I have one of these before I disappear?
Okay. To be honest, mate, I can't do it. My hand doesn't allow me to do it.
Fair dues. I'm going to give you one of these and say, thank you very much for having me on, man. Like, when's this going out of personal curiosity?
It will go out as soon as possible, so probably in the next hour or so.
Oh, really? You're that quick, are you?
Yeah. I don't like to edit them down too much.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, it's Tom Talks Rubbish, YouTube. It's Tom. Do you know how to pin my Twitter? Because I don't know how to do that.
I will. I'm going to be honest, mate. If I remember, I will leave it in the comment. I will leave it in the description, but I might not remember.
Perfect, man. I'm just curious, like, because I'm trying to learn from the best, such as yourself.
Okay, I'll let you go now, mate, because I know you must be pretty rushed for time, so thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock. All right, Anthony, cheers for that, man.
See you in the mate. Thank you for coming
Bye-bye.
on.
Thank you.